Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Certificate and Peace Medal presentation ceremony honoring Georgia's Korean War veterans. At this time, we ask for those who can to please stand for the presentation of colors by the Fort Benning Color and Honor Guard. Now, if you're able, please remain standing for the national anthems of the Republic of Korea and the United States of America. Commissioner Mike Roby and the Georgia Department of Veterans Service is honored to be here today as we join Vice Minister Byung-gu Lee and his staff from the Republic of Korea's Ministry of Patriots and Veterans Affairs and Consul General Young Jun Kim and his staff from the Consulate General of the Republic of Korea in Atlanta to celebrate your honorable service during the Korean War. On behalf of Commissioner Roby, welcome. To today's honorees, thank you for your service. I am Melody Peoples, Public Information Communications Specialist with the Georgia Department of Veterans Service. We would like to recognize some of our distinguished guests that have joined us to celebrate and honor your service. Members of the State Veterans Service Board, members of the American Legion, the Veterans of Foreign War, Military Order of the Purple Heart, and local veterans advocate organization, Favor of West Georgia, as well as officials from the City of Columbus and members of the Georgia State and Congressional Delegation. However, today's most distinguished guests are you, today's honorees, and your family that have joined you. You are amongst the 75,000 native Georgians who served during the Korean War. The 1,040 were wounded in combat, and the 97 native Georgians who were held in enemy captivity. Let us always remember and never forget the 740 native Georgians killed in action. And today, August the 3rd, 2019, there are 157 Georgia families still wondering if the remains of their loved ones who never returned from the battlefields of Korea are listed still unaccounted for, missing in action by the United States Department of Defense will ever be returned to Georgia. Today we are honoring them with this musical tribute titled Mansions of the Lord. The presentation of the Republic of Korea's Ambassador for Peace Medal was established as a special memento for those American veterans who returned to the Republic of Korea through the Revisit program. The honor was later expanded to veterans who have been unable to travel and participate. This expression of appreciation from the Republic of Korea government to American servicemen and women who served in the Korean War can be best explained in the next video, Return to Korea.
The war was so tragic. So many people have died during the war. Civilians, and the families of many Korean civilians that died during the war stay here. What I did during the war was not fun, but it was necessary, and it was something that had to be done. It's too bad it took that long, caused that many problems. But it seems to have been worth it. The country is beautiful, the people are wonderful, and I'm just thrilled to be back and be a part of the program.
안녕하세요.
All the Koreans
참혹한 전쟁에서 보여주셨던 더욱 강해다.
I dictated a speech for them.
나라 사랑의 상징으로 제작한 것으로 Love Korea Badge
Good evening, everyone. So for those of us that are just every day, we go together. We go together.
Is the 26th Vice Minister of the Ministry of Patriots and Veterans Affairs, Byung-gu Lee. Vice Minister Lee is a native of South Jeolla Province, South Korea. After graduating from University of Warwick and Hanyang University, he joined the Ministry of Patriots and Veterans Affairs in his youth. For over 21 years, Vice Minister Lee has served in directorial roles in several bureaus of the ministry before being appointed to Vice Minister. Vice Minister Lee is married with one son and one daughter. It is our pleasure to welcome Vice Minister Byung-gu Lee of the Ministry of Patriots and Veterans Affairs for the Republic of Korea to Atlanta to present remarks.
Thank you for your excellent introduction. Give my speech in Korea. 존경하는 조지아주 한국전 참전용사와 가족 여러분, 69년 전 대한민국의 자유와 평화를 지키기 위해 뜨거운 인류를 보여주셨던 영웅과 가족분들을 뵙게 돼 정말 기쁘게 생각합니다.
Honorable Korean War veterans of Georgia and family members, it is my great pleasure to meet Korean War heroes and their family members who showed great passion for humanity in defending the freedom and peace of the Republic of Korea.
먼저 우리 정부와 국민을 대표해 전쟁으로부터 대한민국을 지켜주신 참전용사 여러분께 경의를 표하며 가족분들께 깊이 감사드립니다.
First, on behalf of the government and people of Korea, I'd like to express my respect to the Korean War veterans who protected Korea from the war and my sincere appreciation to the family members.
또한 오늘 뜻깊은 자리를 함께 준비해 주신 마이크 로비 조지아주 보훈처장님, 또 김영준 주 아틀란타 총영사관님과 관계자분께 깊은 감사를 드립니다.
In addition, I'd like to extend my gratitude to Commissioner Mike Roby of Georgia, Department of Veterans Service, Korean Consul General Young-jun Kim of Atlanta, and officials for organizing this meaningful ceremony and distinguished guests who have joined us despite their busy schedule.
참전자 여러분, 참혹한 전쟁 속에서 보여주신 여러분의 용기와 투혼은 오늘날 대한민국이 누리고 있는 자유와 평화 그리고 세계가 주목하는 경제 성장과 민주화를 이루는 토대가 됐습니다.
Korean War veterans, the gallantry and valor you displayed when Korea came under heavy gunfire laid the foundation for the freedom, peace, and remarkable economic growth and democratization that Korea enjoys today.
특히 미국은 한국 정년에 가장 빨리 가장 많은 용사를 파병하였으며 가장 큰 희생의 아픔을 겪은 나라이기도 합니다.
In particular, when Korea was engulfed in war, the United States was the first country to extend a warm helping hand to our nation with the largest number of troops. And at the same time, your nation suffered from the pain of losing the greatest number of soldiers.
대한민국은 여러분의 피와 땀 그리고 전쟁이 끝난 후에도 주한미군과 함께 튼튼한 안보태세를 유지하면서 오늘에 이룰 수 있었습니다.
Thanks to the blood and sweat you shed during the Korean War and the firm security posture that we've been maintaining with the presence of the United States Force Korea after the war, Korea was able to reach where it stands today.
이처럼 한미 양국은 참전용사의 피로 맺어진 혈맹의 관계이며 69년이 흐른 지금은 물론 앞으로도 더욱 굳건한 동맹의 관계로 발전해 나아갈 것입니다.
As such, the ROK-US alliance is forged by the sacrifice of the Korean War veterans. 69 years have been passed and has been and will become even more steadfast.
대한민국 문재인 대통령께서도 워싱턴 한국전쟁 기념공원 내에 추모의 건립을 통해 미군 전몰장병의 고귀한 희생을 기리고 한미동맹의 숭고함을 양국 국민의 가슴에 새길 것이라고 하셨습니다.
President Moon Jae-in of Korea said, "Our nation will honor the noble sacrifice of the United States Korean War veterans who went missing in action and captured, and engrave the value of the great alliance between the two nations in the hearts of the fellow Koreans and Americans."
한국정된 전시관이 마련된 이곳 국립보병박물관 역시 한국 정부의 호응을 받아 건립된 곳으로 양국 관계를 잘 보여주는 곳이라 생각합니다.
I believe the National Infantry Museum, sponsored by the Korean government, is well representing the Korean War as well, symbolizing the ironclad alliance between Korea and the United States.
존경하는 참전용사와 가족 여러분, 우리 정부와 국민들은 대한민국의 자유와 평화를 지켜낸 여러분들을 결코 잊지 않겠습니다.
Honorable Korean War veterans and family members, the government and people of Korea will never forget all of you who defended the freedom and peace of our nation.
지금까지 그러했듯이 앞으로도 대한민국의 역사에서도 미군 참전용사의 희생과 공헌은 영원히 기억될 것입니다.
The sacrifice and contribution of U.S. Korean War veterans have been and always will be engraved in the history of Korea for generations to come.
내년은 6.25 전쟁이 일어난 지 70주년이 된 해입니다. 대한민국은 미군 참전용사와 유가족, 후손 초청은 물론 현지 감사 위로 행사를 강화해 보훈을 통한 양국의 유대관계를 확대해 나가겠습니다.
The coming year marks the 70th anniversary of the outbreak of the Korean War. The ministry plans to expand our international relations by enhancing not only our invitation program for the UN Korean War veterans, family members, and descendants, but also our local appreciation events.
특히 한미 양국은 더욱 견고한 동맹을 토대로 한반도의 항구적 평화 정착을 위해 당당히 함께 나아갈 것입니다. 여러분께서도 많은 관심과 성원을 부탁드립니다.
On the basis of a strong alliance, Korea and the United States will advance together to establish permanent peace on the Korean Peninsula. I ask for your continued interest and support.
다시 한번 참전용사 여러분과 가족분들께 깊은 존경과 감사를 드리며 완전한 평화가 정착된 대한민국에서 다시 뵙기를 기원합니다. 항상 건강하시기를 기원합니다. 감사합니다.
I'd like to once again express my deepest respect and appreciation to the U.S. Korean War veterans and family members. And I hope to see you again when the era of permanent peace arrives in Korea. I hope you always stay happy and healthy. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Minister Lee, and welcome to Georgia. We are honored that you felt it was important to be part of today's ceremony. Our next guest is Consul General Young Jun Kim of the Consulate General of the Republic of Korea in Atlanta. Between his graduations from Seoul National University and Georgia State University and his current role, Consul General Kim has held 2 posts in Belgium, served 5 years in Ethiopia, and multiple trade-related roles. Consul General Kim is married with 1 son. Please welcome Consul General Young Jun Kim of the Consulate General of the Republic of Korea in Atlanta.
Good morning. Vice Minister Byung-gu Lee, of Ministry of Patriot and Veterans Affairs of Republic of Korea, and Commissioner Mike Lovey of Georgia Department of Veterans Services, and Brigadier General Peter Jones, President and COO of National Infantry Museum Foundation, and Mr. Kevin Kim, President of POSCO America, distinguished guests, and most of our veterans of Korean War and your families. I'm very pleased to attend today's ceremony to honor Korean War veterans at the National Infantry Museum here in Columbus. I would like to thank Georgia Department of the Veterans Service for co-hosting this event to present Ambassador for Peace Medal for the second time this year. I also would like to convey my special thanks to Vice Minister Hyun Lee of the Ministry of Patriot and Veterans Affairs of the Republic of Korea for attending this meaningful event today. Also, I'd like to thank POSCO America for its continued engagement with the Veterans Affairs. Most of all, I'd like to thank the Korean War veterans here today who fought for the country they never knew and for the people they never met. The Korean War has been often called the forgotten war, but I want to assure you that the Korean people have not forgotten you. The Korea has not forgotten the souls sitting here today. Korea has not forgotten 740 Georgians who made the ultimate sacrifice in Korea. This is the reason why I gladly host today's event here in National Infantry Museum in Columbus, where Korean government and Korean company Samsung Electronics made a contribution to build Korean War Memorial Monument, and the Korean government present Ambassador of Peace medals to 44 veterans of Korean War today. Last week, I attended the list laying ceremony organized by American Korean Friendship Society in Atlanta to respect Korean War veterans. At the event, retired Admiral Robert Lunny also joined and told vividly his story about the Hungnam evacuation from North Korea during the Korean War. These historic occasions became well known even to the post-war generations in Korea who did not experience the war. Among the refugees aboard the USS Meredith Victory at the time were parents of President Moon Jae-in of the Republic of Korea. This was just one of the thousands or millions of stories of the Korean War. But important thing is that we strive to ensure the Korean War will be remembered in Korea and around the world. We Koreans do not forget the Korean War veterans who made sacrifices with great devotion. As Vice Minister mentioned before, I'd like also to express my utmost respect and appreciation to the Korean War veterans here today. Ladies and gentlemen, the Korean War taught us we are stronger when we stand as one. I believe our close cooperation based on the rock-solid alliance between our two countries will ultimately lead North Korea onto the path of denuclearization and ensure peace and prosperity on the Korean Peninsula and throughout the world. I ask for your strong support in these endeavors. In conclusion, I'm truly honored to attend today's ceremony to honor Korean War veterans, the eternal heroes of America and Korea. I wish each of you here today a long life, good health, and happiness. Thank you.
Thank you, Consul General Kim. Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest is the Commissioner of the Georgia Department of Veterans Service, Mike Roby. Commissioner Roby served 21 years in the United States Army that involved tours in Germany and Korea. Sandwiched between those overseas tours were stateside duty at the United States Army Forces Command Headquarters at Fort McPherson near Atlanta and at the Department of Army headquarters in Alexandria, Virginia. After a final assignment at Fort McPherson, Commissioner Roby retired as Sergeant Major in 1994 and quickly began his career at GDVS, starting as the manager of the Griffin Field Service Office. 4 years later, he was promoted to supervisor, then regional director, and later assistant commissioner. On July the 1st, 2015, Commissioner Roby was sworn in as Georgia's only second commissioner of the Georgia Department of Veterans Service by former Georgia Governor Nathan Deal. In this role, he oversees all aspects of the Georgia Department of Veterans Service. Commissioner Roby's father, Robert Roby Sr., was also a retired Army Sergeant Major and was a Vietnam War veteran who also served overseas in Germany, Korea, and South America. Commissioner Roby's three brothers they all served on active military duty, and collectively, the Robys spent 107 years in uniform. Commissioner Roby is married with one son, one daughter, and 3 grandchildren. Please welcome the Georgia Commissioner of Veterans Service, Mike Roby.
Good morning. It's an honor to join the Republic of Korea's Vice Minister of Patriots and Veterans Affairs and his staff who traveled from Seoul and the Consul General from the Republic of Korea in Atlanta to honor and celebrate your service during the Korean War. Almost 70 years ago, you were part of a military who, along with men and women from 20 other nations, joined the first mission of the United Nations. You joined a fight for peace for the brave citizens of South Korea. The goal was to defend independence, to safeguard other nations from attack, and to help protect freedoms and liberty that remain as some of mankind's greatest gifts. You returned quietly after the war, restarted your civilian lives, but your sacrifices were overlooked, your bravery all too often ignored. For all of you here today, the Korean War was never forgotten. It has always been with you. The monsoon mud, the searing heat, the biting cold. For you, this is not a forgotten war. It is a proud and painful memory. The fact that you held on is a testament to your bravery, strong will, and courage. You endured terrible hardships, deathly cold, weeks and months crammed into foxholes and bunkers. You faced an opposition with overwhelming numbers who were often with the threat of brutal imprisonment and torture. You set a standard of courage that will never be surpassed in the history of military combat. We owe it to you, the veterans of that war, to celebrate your sacrifice, to cherish your service, to remember what was too long forgotten. We clearly see the values of your sacrifice. Your sacrifices to defend freedom and peace will not be in vain. The free world's participation in the Korean War, its first unveiling the effective action to restrain the exposition of communism, changed the course of global history. We take pride in the process of the history that has been turned the Korean War from a forgotten war into a war most worthy of remembrance. Too many lost sight of the importance of Korea. But now we know, when the benefit of history, the Korean War was a clear message that helped put the free world on the road to victory in the Cold War. Today, we honor those who served during the Korean War and were willing to risk their lives to preserve freedom, democracy, and a meaningful way of life. Many people are safe and free today because of your sacrifice. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Commissioner Roby. Vice Minister Lee would like to thank and recognize some special guests here today. First, the Presidential Citation for Korean War Veterans of America, Chapter 19. President Norman Berg and his son, please rise and join Vice Minister Lee to the front. This citation is in recognition of and appreciation for their outstanding contributions to freedom and democracy of the Republic of Korea. I hereby present Presidential Citation to General Raymond E. Davis, Chapter, Korean War Veterans Association, Incorporated, Chapter 19, United States of America, July 27th, 2019, Moon Jae-in, President of the Republic of Korea. Infantry Museum. Mr. Peter Jones will be accepting on behalf of the museum. This is in memory of the brave Americans who gave their lives in defending the Republic of Korea for the cause of freedom. Presented here in this great nation to commemorate the permanent and robust peace earned by the noble sacrifices of all brave Americans who served in Korea. August 3rd, 2019, Pee Woo-jin, Minister of Patriots and Veterans Affairs, Republic of Korea. Minister Lee, Consul General Kim, POSCO leadership, and Commissioner Roby, please assemble in the front of the stage to present the State of Georgia's Korean War Certificate of Honor, the Ambassador for Peace Medal, and the POSCO lapel pin and hat. I will now call each honoree's name aloud in alphabetical order by last name. Family and friends, you are welcome to come down and take pictures of the veterans receiving honors or assist them as needed. For honorable military service during the Korean War, Donald Adams, Staff Sergeant, United States Air Force. Roy G. Engels, Seaman Apprentice, United States Navy. We're going to call them two at a time. Robert Theodore Bouter, Staff Sergeant, United States Marine Corps, and Samuel C. Brunson.
That's Mr. Adams. Charlotte, switch. This is that gentleman just said that. He's coming. That's it. You just switch. I don't get you. Oh.
Robert Joseph Caldwell, Airman First Class, United States Air Force, and Harold William Carlson, Jr., Staff Sergeant, United States Air Force.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
James Randall Carr, Staff Sergeant, United States Marine Corps. Philippe Ramon Castillo, Sergeant First Class retired, United States Army.
Thank you, sir.
Jimmy Coleman, Staff Sergeant, United States Air Force. Luther Franklin Cook, Sergeant, United States Army. Albert Elliott, Corporal, United States Army, and Melvin Quentin Gilmore, First Lieutenant, United States Army.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your service. Thank you.
We always appreciate your service.
William Marvin Griggers, Petty Officer 3rd Class, United States Navy. John Hannibach, Petty Officer 2nd Class, United States Navy. J.L. Harvey, Corporal, United States Army, and Paul Buren Hutchinson, Jr., Senior, Chief Petty Officer, United States Navy. J.L. Harvey.
He said, I'm J.L. Harvey. Let's go. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your service.
Walter T. Jones, Private First Class, United States Army, and James R. Lee, Sergeant Major, United States Army.
You can make it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your service. Thank you.
Charles, oh, we have one more? Mr. Jones. Charles Clarence McCollar, First Sergeant Retired, United States Army. Roy Monroe Miller, Private First Class, United States Army.
We'll correct the last name.
Frank Peter Misiak, Command Sergeant Major, Retired, United States Army. And William Burt Montgomery, Petty Officer, First Class, United States Navy. Richard Ray Neal, Petty Officer, 3rd Class, United States Navy. And James Alfonso Pascal, Corporal, United States Army. Ralph Puckett, Colonel, Retired, United States Army. And Lawrence Vincent Pulaski, Corporal, United States Army. Joseph Gerard Roy, Master Sergeant, Retired, United States Army. And Charles Aaron Rutledge, Sergeant, United States Army.
Good talk, you deserve the front. Thank you, sir. Speak for yourself. Go ahead. Thank you. Get to see the compliment. And we always appreciate the service.
Benny Donald Sheehan, Sergeant, Retired, United States Marine Corps. And James Lee Spates, Private First Class, United States Army.
Yes, Mr.
Shake your hand. There you go.
Shake your hand.
Charlie Starr, Corporal, United States Army. And James Robert Stark, Staff Sergeant, United States Air Force.
Got to talk to them real free, and I can do a hard of hearing.
You all right,
Yeah,
brother?
okay, all
Turn
right.
around here, they won't get your
They want to
picture.
turn you
All those
around.
pretty ladies won't get your
Charlie,
picture.
Charlie, turn around.
Charlie's ready to take off here.
I'm waiting on you.
All right.
All right.
Smile.
Don't break your camera now.
We appreciate you, Charlie.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
How do you say it, Hangul?
Kasamida.
Thank you, Hangul. You know what to say? Kasamida. That's right. He said that's right. Your son, he said there you go. Oh, all right. I know you are.
Adrian Stewart, Sergeant First Class Retired, United States Army. And Ernest Dale Sundstrom, Sergeant, United States Army. Joseph Anthony Tadonio, Corporal, United States Marine Corps. And John Oliver Thomas, Second Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps. William Joseph Van Ark, Master Sergeant, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. And Robert Ralph Van Alstyne, Corporal, United States Marine Corps.
Yes, sir. Make sure I got it right. Thank you, sir.
Aubrey Eugene Walker, First Sergeant Retired, United States Army. And James Robert Weaver, Sergeant, United States Army. Robert Louis Sam Wetzel, Lieutenant General Retired, United States Army. James Robert Zanders, Staff Sergeant, Retired, United States Air Force.
이쪽에 사람이 좀